Hey y'all, editor's note. So my mic is a little bit scuffed in this podcast, and right now I'm using my desktop mic, but yeah, sorry about that. Otherwise, enjoy the podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Joe's podcast. Today, I'm your host, Shams, along with your speakers. Raut, say hi.
Hi.
Saif.
Hey, guys.
And Hassan.
Yo.
So, let's cut straight to the chase. I hate Twitter, but only a supplement to my complicated relationship with what is known as cancel culture, which is what this podcast is about. We know what cancel culture is. It's basically laying out controversial stuff that someone did that makes them potentially deserve deplatforming on social media, or like a severe reduction in fan base, essentially getting canceled. Which brings me to my first question. Do you think cancel culture is generally good or bad for society?
For me, I think it's the same thing as it's just the internet, right? Like there's some things that are good and there's some things that are bad, right? Like in some cases there'll be like cancel culture and like people will be like canceling people for no reason, but other cases it'll be like actually exposing someone who's like straight up like racist or someone who's like a child predator or something, you know? So I think it's the same thing as the internet, where it's like you can't really say it's good or bad. It's like it's a tool, and then we have to see like it should be used in good cases, and we have to figure out when it's not used properly.
I feel like the act of canceling somebody itself isn't that bad. Like I think it's necessary sometimes. Certain people do deserve to lose their platform. But like when it becomes a culture, I think that's when we've kind of gone too far. And like we're nitpicking at like little things that are like little flaws that people have, just to like, you know, cancel their career and everything. I think that's when it's taken too far.
Yeah, it's like whenever it goes too far, that's like when it goes to like the nitpicking territory, as in like, oh, in 2012, Filthy Frank made really offensive humor, but like they don't really see the context behind it, you know? That was the whole point of his thing.
One of the things I was thinking about is like, it's one of the like, and nowadays like you have to expose people who are like racist or sexist or homophobic, right? But in real life, how many chances do you actually get to do that, right? So I feel like a lot of people who are like I don't want to say specifically, but you know what I mean, like people who like consider themselves allies, but they don't really have any of the actual issues themselves. They want to like seem like whether it's because they want like the prestige of exposing people, or because they just don't like, they just want to seem like someone who's like an ally. They feel like the need that they have to expose people, right? And so in real life, you don't have the opportunity to do that often, right? Because most of us, if you're like an ally, you're probably living in like a pretty nice like metropolitan, cosmopolitan area where like there isn't that much of that like directly happening. So then you go to Twitter and like any example you can get, you just say something so that like they feel like, oh yeah, I'm one of the allies, I'm helping people, even though some cases you're really not helping people, right?
Exactly.
Right. It feels like virtue signaling almost. I think that's what you were talking about, Son.
Yeah, like it's
people just.
Yeah, like on the virtue signaling note, I think it's like the same thing. Like some companies actually are like using like their platform to talk about like good stuff, but some companies are just doing it to act like they are. You know what I mean?
Some people just want to start beef. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
The thing with cancel culture is I think it was important and it was relevant, especially when it started. Then it's morphed into this very strange gray area of does the crime fit the punishment? Does someone deserve to be canceled? What does it even mean to be canceled?
Exactly.
Like now I don't even know how to quite describe what cancel culture is anymore, because it's moved away from the original message, which was canceling someone for their wrongdoings. And like, how do people define that? Well, that's up to the person.
I think it's a case-by-case basis, in my opinion. Like it's like some cases they'll be like, oh, you've gone too far, like they didn't really do anything, or you don't understand the context. And some cases it's like, no, it makes sense, you're canceling this person.
I think one thing that really contributed to cancel culture being bigger as a whole is like what Hassan said. You wouldn't really say that sort of shit to someone in real life, but like if you're in quarantine, you can just mash on your keyboard and like talk shit to somebody. It's either for attention or for a good purpose.
Yeah. I feel like it's that like you wouldn't really say it in person, but it's also like a lot of times you don't really get the chance to, right? Like I feel like a lot of people have like I won't say like everybody, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people do have like the like idea of like, oh, one time when someone says something like really shitty, I'm gonna like roast them on that, right? So like in public, but in real life, how often does that happen, right? Like
Never happens.
I'll say like in Toronto, right? Like every so often there will be something, but almost never will there be a case where someone's actually really saying homophobic or racist or sexist shit because you live in Toronto, right? Like if you're the kind of person who's like, you know, like that's like I don't know, would cancel someone for being like homophobic, sexist, or racist. You probably live somewhere where there's not a lot of people that exist like that. You know what I mean?
It's easy to be a keyboard warrior.
Yeah. Like it just like, I think it's both. Like it's easy to be a keyboard warrior, but it's also like it's the only like real convenient place to do so. You know?
Personally, I think like this sort of stuff, like being a keyboard warrior, all just a waste of time, you know? Like
Yeah, like
it's so obvious. You're just seeking attention at this point, or probably doing something good. But most of the time, like I feel like nowadays it's starting to become more of an attention thing.
Yeah. No, I feel like if it's like a real big thing, like as a politician or something, of course, like expose them. But like it's one of those things where people feel like, oh, they should do something, so they do this. But instead, if you like spend like an hour or two, like sort of like canceling something like just a random person who's like has no influence in the world, like if you just went out and like volunteered into like an anti-racist like organization, you're probably like doing so much more, right? But people don't want to actually do actual stuff, and instead they just want to like attack people on Twitter.
Yeah, people like rant on Twitter and call it activism, which is such a
Exactly.
like
It's certainly talk. Brings me to my next question. What contributes to cancel culture being toxic in the first place? Personally, it's the like clout gap. I don't have a good word to describe it, but like basically somebody has a lot of clout. And how do you clout chase? Try to pursue someone who's got a lot of clout and talk some shit about them. Even if it's untrue, even if it's like a white lie, it's gonna bring you clout anyways, because people are gonna hear out what you say. Like, oh, look at this guy's toast, he said something like 50 years ago.
Yeah, I think why cancel culture is so toxic is because it's kind of like a culture of hypocrisy, because people don't hold themselves to the same standard that they do celebrities or like, you know, figures on or influencers, quote unquote, on social media. Like, you know, everybody's done something that would probably get them canceled if it came out right. But it's really just a matter of when and how that comes out to the public, for celebrities especially.
So I feel like it kind of makes sense. Like if you're like a random person and like you say something shitty, like you really have no influence in the world, right? But if you're someone who has like 1 million fans following you, then even if you say like a slur by accident, you said a slur and like your impressionable audience can actually like catch up on that, right? So I feel like those kind of cases it makes sense to like cancel someone, but yeah.
If you're an offline TV member and you make one tweet, expect like freaking death threats coming to you or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
everybody
that's
critiquing every granular detail that you say, and it's like, God.
The other thing with the cancel culture being toxic is it's also like when you're canceling someone. So for example, if someone's looking at a tweet and it's from 2001 and there was like certain actions and culture behind as to why that would have happened, people might miss out on the context and just continually attack the person in present day conditions, which obviously just like doesn't make any sense because it was like a different time. When you think about it, it's like 20 years ago. But
Oh, it's somewhat like unrelated, I think. I'm not sure. You can stop me if you want, but like I saw this one not just one, but I watched a couple of videos on this case, but it's like sometimes people cancel people who are like I would say like left wing, you know, like liberal or whatever, because if you're like left wing, you're mostly like moralizing, right? You're saying like, oh, don't be like homophobic, don't be sexist, don't be racist, all that shit. And so like if you're against those people, you can like probably everyone has said something shitty, so you can find something and like shut them down like that, right? For being like, oh, how are you telling us not to be racist when like this other thing out of context, though you said something racist, right? So it's one of those things as well. Like it's like everywhere, right? Like you can attack someone like for something like that. Like if someone brings up a case and you don't want to actually like argue what they're saying, you can just go and find like a random tweet they said like 20 years ago and be like, oh yeah, look, they said this, right? They must be like a horrible person, you know?
I also think that age is important, like as a factor in context when we're looking at tweets and stuff. Not saying that it's an excuse, but it's definitely a reason towards why they might have said what they said at that time, right? Like if you bring up a tweet from like when somebody was 13, like, you know, I don't think that person has the same beliefs or ideals that they had at that age, right?
Oh my god.
So,
That's a really good
Definitely.
point.
Me or high
Definitely.
school me would have been canceled by now. Like, holy.
That's why you're on the podcast right now. We're doing a live cancel.
Oh no.
Did Tommy not talk about this part? Oh,
it's a surprise.
That's it,
Surprise.
guys. I have to shut down the channel. I'm
No, I
not
mean-
editing anymore.
It's definitely like
Alright.
a lot of stuff
Okay.
where I feel like a lot of people didn't even know it was like that bad, right? Like I can say like
Yeah.
in the 2000s, like if you look back at like what people did in the 2000s, there was like so much homophobia, it's just crazy, right? Like if you like I watched like a movie recently from the 2000s, and there's just like so many like gay jokes, you know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
it's crazy how that was just acceptable.
Phobia, gay
Yeah.
jokes, all that
Like,
sort of
it was just
stuff.
so like people just took it as acceptable, right? Like in my elementary school, people were saying that all the time. And, like nowadays, like all those people, like they would never say that, right? They understand that that's a shitty thing to do, but I think like
Yep.
back in the day, they just weren't aware. And yeah, it's ignorance, right? But when you're a kid and like no one's telling you that's wrong, then like you just didn't know, right? Like it would be a different situation if you're an adult, then like that's on you. But if you're a kid, like you're literally just repeating what the media and everyone else around you is telling you, right?
yeah. You brought up a really good point about like groupthink, where people just like kind of herd onto one person's opinion and just kind of build off on top of that. It's like, yeah, this person said this, let me join, and then another person joins in and just snowballs into this conformist big group that's onto the same beliefs and feelings, and it just creates a really toxic environment at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because you're not being true to yourself, like you're not thinking for yourself or thinking as to why something's happening.
Because thinking for yourself is hard. You gotta actually like work for that, you know? Like letting other people think for you is so much easier. You can just sit back and like listen to whatever someone else says. Like thinking for yourself requires effort, and I feel like a lot of people just they don't want to put in the effort, right? And
People definitely
you can-
bandwagon
yeah,
on others' opinions.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's like I was listening talking about this in my like English class. I did that whole class. Like one of the main points was that like people want some kind of purpose, right? Instead of like thinking about your own purpose and what you want to do, it's easier just to let someone else tell you what to do, right? It's like it's a lot less work, because if you have to like think about your own opinion for every case, it takes a lot of time to actually do the research and listen to all the other like opinions before making your own. If you just want to listen, but instead if you just listen to one person, be like, okay, this person said this, I'm just gonna go with that. It's like a lot easier for people, and I think that's like one of the problems.
If you're the type of guy who like obsesses over a certain celebrity, looks at every single thing they do, like, grow up.
It's like this is the thing that starts cults, you know, like if you don't like have your own opinions and stuff, you just like listen to someone else.
There's also the whole aspect of like this is a very emotional issue, and sometimes
Yeah.
like facts and logic can kind of exit through someone's head when trying to analyze what's going on, as far as to how to respond to this. I guess my biggest thing is back at the like sometimes a crime doesn't really fit the punishment, or like, to what degree do you want to take or cancel someone if they had done something very minor and that was 20 years ago and they were a different person doing a complete different thing.
No, like I was just you guys can stop me. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but another thing is like people like to think of stuff as like black and white, you know, like good or bad. It's not like actually a gray zone, right? Like this is the same thing with like actual laws, right? Like, oh, you smoke a little bit of weed, go to jail, right? And the people put the same thing on like canceling as well, right? Like, oh, you did something slightly bad, oh, you're horrible, right? You're equal to like people who like far beyond, right? But in reality, there's a scale, right? Like some people are like a lot like not racist at all, and some people are like very racist, and there's people in the middle who like there's some people who make some shitty jokes, right? Some people who are like not that racist, but every so often they have like a racist thought. You know what I mean? Like there's a scale, but a lot of people just want to like again the easy route, just have like good and bad, and then they don't want to think about like the actual gray zone, right?
That's a really good point. Like, not everything is black and white, and like with cancel culture, most of the time people will just see one side and not care about the other, not hear out the other person. Like people hop on this bandwagon because it's so popular to cancel this guy. It's so popular to think that this guy's a scumbag.
Yeah. There's also like the other way when some people are like they won't like cancel someone who's like straight up racist or like something crazy because it's like you already thought of them as good and like you just refuse to accept it. You know, like sometimes there's like straight up proof that someone did something crazy, but like their fans will be like, nah, it's okay. They're not, you know. It's like both sides. Like once you picked a side, you refuse to like move from it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess we established what makes cancel culture toxic, so gonna move on to the next question, I guess. How has cancel culture really changed your perspective on like influencers as a whole, you know? Like, do you think people like really attached to influencers? Do you see them as role models, that sort of stuff? I personally don't have any role models.
I don't know. I think like worshiping celebrities, even just like putting them on a pedestal, is toxic in general. Like
Stan culture, oh my god.
Oh yeah, stan culture for sure. Because once that celebrity does something, it lets you down, right? Like, and then some people find themselves defending somebody who did something wrong, like blatantly wrong, right? Like we just discussed.
Exactly.
Cancel culture, it's morphed into this completely different thing than what it initially stood for, and it's I guess I kind of lost my train of thought here, but it's like it's not what it used to be. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm. I think it's with all things really. It's just like when something gets too big, it goes away from its original purpose. You know?
Yeah.
I think more than anything, like cancel culture is just given like ordinary people a way to like be extra critical of people that they don't know anything about.
Yeah. You don't really know this person personally. It's not an intrapersonal relationship. Like I like when a streamer talks to their fan base, they're not talking specifically to you. That's the thing. Whenever they're playing like something and they say something offensive, like they make an offensive joke on like Jackbox or something, they're not gonna appeal to everybody, you know?
I want to make one comment on, I guess, a positive aspect of cancel culture, which is what I was gonna say, like all these celebrities and influencers, you just realize at the end of the day that they're humans just like the rest of us, and oftentimes they get put in these pedestals that they've made mistakes throughout their lives, and they're in a public platform. That's hence why they're getting canceled in the first place. But they're just like you or me or anyone else, and that was actually, I think, a really good realization I had.
There's still people, right? Like once again, like exactly. You have to hold yourself to the same standard as people that you're canceling, right? Like take a good look at yourself, evaluate your choices, what you've done in your life before you go and criticize somebody else for them, right? Like,
there's actually interesting on this. I was talking to my friend who's studying psychology, and he was telling me about how when you think about like situations involving you or people who are close to you, you think of it as like contextual, right? When you think about other people, you just think of the event. So if something happens to someone around you, you think of all the context around it, right? Let's say like your friend went over the speed limit by a little bit, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's because we were in a rush to get somewhere, you know? But if someone else did it, you're like, oh, well, this person's crazy, why are they going over the speed limit, right? The same thing, like when there's people you personally know or yourself, you actually put in like the work to think through the context and like, you know, rationalize it. But when someone else is just like, what they do directly, right? You don't think about like all the backstory and everything. Like let them to that point. The one type of canceling I'm always for is canceling corporations. You know, these guys are just doing a lot of shitty stuff.
They're doing a lot of shady stuff at that too. Just like mending laws and moving wherever they think.
Yeah, because like, okay, for people, there's context, you know, but for corporations, it's like, there's context, but like it's almost always because they want money. So
I mean, it's definitely different. You have to approach it differently when it's an individual, right? And their career is on the line.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're like, you just think about the consequence before you do something, right? It's like this, again, just like that. Like if you're gonna like talk to someone, you should like, it's like in real life, right? You wouldn't just randomly start a fight. You do want to understand like the situation before you actually start a fight.
You brought up a really good point about like corporations, and I think this one's relevant. This example is relevant to the topic, but like the whole skin lightening creams, like that's being sold by Dove and like all these major like Procter and Gamble and like all these major companies around the world. Yet they also on the other side talked about like women's beauty standards and how they're so accepting of every skin color and everything, and yet they sell these other products. I mean, you know, on one hand, like the Twitter army and just millennials and Gen Zs getting together and banning against these brands.
Yeah.
That was a good example of cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's like I was gonna say, it's like oil companies, they're like greenwashing, you know, like I've seen so many ads nowadays being like,
Yep.
oh, we're doing our best to like help the environment. It's like, bro, you're literally pulling oil out of the ground. What do you mean? You know, you're
Yeah,
literally
this is like grade 5 science. Like
Yeah,
we all
or
know
like-
this is
yeah, or like they were I seen this video where they're driving a car across the country to show like its fuel efficiency. It's like, bro, why? Like you're literally like just polluting more. Like I don't understand. They wanna they're not talking about like actual problems they cause. They just want to act like, oh, we're good, you know, which is a whole thing about corporations. You have like a proper 3-part podcast on that.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say.
All right, I guess that's it up for this podcast. Be sure to check out our social media in the description, in the link tree, and well, I guess that's it.
Yeah, the moral of the lesson
Yep.
is think about context. Before you
Think
cancel
twice
someone.
before you on the Twitter
Exactly.
Amen on that.
Amen. Amen.
But once you look at the context, it's over. Just end them.
rant. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.